Hello everyone, it's the Emperor Nosh, and we are back again for another anime checkout video. This time for winter 2024. Yep, you know what that means. We are officially on the brand new year of anime. We'll be checking out any of the new sequels and or new anime that are upcoming for winter 2024. And just as always, we are using the AniChart.net website for our source of synopsises and descriptions. To keep the intro short, we're going to go ahead and get right on into it. All right, before we get going, just know that we might not have everything that's coming out on this video. There's some things that I won't have anything to say about, like sequels to anime that I haven't actually checked out yet. So just keep that in mind. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get going then. Starting off, we have Solo Leveling A1 Pictures. Yep, this one has been, flying around a little bit here and there. There is some hype, and then there's some people that are, it's kind of questionable, I would say. But it's number one in popularity on here. That means something for sure. So action, adventure, fantasy. It's been over a decade since the sudden appearance of the gates, the paths that connect our world with a different dimension. Since then, certain humans have awakened to supernatural powers. Yep, that's pretty standard. We call these individuals hunters. Hunters make their living by using their powers to conquer dungeons inside the gates. In this world of tough customers, the low-ranked hunter Shun Mizushino is known as the weakest hunter of all mankind. One day, Shun gets fatally injured when he runs into high-ranked double dungeons hidden within a low-ranked dungeon. That's kind of crazy. Just then, a mysterious quest window appears in front of him. On the verge of death, Shun decides to accept the quest and starts leveling up, while the others aren't. But yeah, this was announced in 2022 at the Crunchyroll panel and Anime Expo. I was already planning to look at this, so it seems interesting. I think it's from what I remember, it's based off of like a manhwa. I don't know. I just know. Gonna check it out for sure. Moving on. Classroom of the Elite Season 3. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm watching it. Drama psychological. I've been enjoying Classroom of the Elite so far. I enjoyed Season 2 for sure. There was a lot of fun stuff in that one. And we have the third season finally. So the third semester kicks off in high gear with special boot camp deep in the mountains, forcibly separated into groups along grade and gender lines. The first, second, and third years alike must work together to survive the rugged terrain. Even worse, the leader of the group that comes in last will be expelled. Can Class D make it back to campus intact, or is this where they finally say goodbye to one of their own? When is there not a game that's trying to expel them, though? I feel like that's been a pretty common thing throughout Classroom of the Elite. Is, hey, you're going to get expelled if you don't, do this. But like I said, I'm watching it. Studio Lurch. I don't know if it's the same studio or not. I don't remember all the studios very well. Fukumichi Moonlit Fantasy Season 2. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've been waiting on this one. I didn't expect this to get a season 2 until they announced it before. I liked this isekai. It is indeed an isekai. Because this is the one with the goddess that thought he was ugly and just kind of placed him in a corner of the world or something like that, from what I remember. Synopsis. The second season, after Makoto Misumi defeats Mitsurugi and Sophia Bulga, humanity is saved from the attacking demon army for the time being. The goddess is aware of Makoto's growing power, and she sees him as less of a nuisance and more of a rival. Makoto continues his journey to further expand his community of outcasts and connect with more humans. Why is it spelled this way? But will he be strong enough to hold off the coming storm? Yeah, that was the other thing. He did kind of like make a growing community of outcasts. Yes, that is the case. And the goddess thing, yeah, I think that was accurate, that I remember that correctly. It's been several years since I've watched season 1. But I am looking forward to seeing season 2. It was a very fun isekai to watch. Mashal Magic and Muscles season 2. Yep, we knew this was coming. It's the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam arc. Yeah, they literally named the arc after what it's about, rather than just being like, "Oh, season 2." It's like, no, this is what it is. Which, again, another one we're gonna watch. Watch season 1. It was pretty funny, including the outro where it's just literally about cream puffs. Um, Almost makes you want a cream puff, right? No synopsis here, but it kind of gets to the point. You watch season 1, you're probably gonna watch season 2 if you enjoyed it. Action comedy fantasy and A1 Pictures again. This is the second A1 Pictures up here at the top. And I forgot this was JC Staff, so that's cool. All right, next, Chained Soldier. This has an etchy tag on it. I've noticed that when I first heard about it. So that's interesting. Fantasy, drama, action, adventure, 7 arcs. I don't think I recognize that studio. Yuki Wakura watches as dueling supernatural forces ravage the earth. Motto are portals to another dimension, avenues from which dangerous monsters escape. Peaches are resources given to women, granting them abilities. Peaches, huh? Chief of the 7th Unity of the Anti-Demon Corps, Yoka Uzun arrives to save Yuki from a monster. Surprisingly, Yuki holds the power to increase the Peach's effectiveness. But to save the world, Yuki must be willing to become Kyoka's servant, both on the battlefield and at home. Okay. Not entirely sure off of that alone. But the picture does give me interest. So it's taking on dangerous forces with the power of superhuman abilities granted by Peaches. I've heard weirder synopsises, so probably want to check it out. Delicious in Dungeon. Studio Trigger. That could be pretty good. Yeah, I've heard about this one before. Isn't this kind of more adventure comedy fantasy? I figured it was kind of more comedic. And just from, the name of it, we're gonna probably have a cooking anime in the dungeon. Okay. When young adventurer Laos and his company are attacked and soundly thrashed by a dragon deep in a dungeon, the party loses all of its money and provisions and a member. They're eager to go back and save her, but there's just one problem. They set out with no food or coin to speak of. They're sure to starve on the way, but Laios comes up with a brilliant idea. Let's eat the monsters. Slimes, basilisks, and even dragons. None are safe from the appetites of these dungeon-crawling gourmands. Well, yes. Okay, I think I have heard some people talking about this. People that, talked about the manga for this. I don't read manga that much. But I am interested in this. Let's eat the monsters. See where this goes. Adventure comedy and fantasy with that element, that kind of concept. It sounds like it could be a fun idea. And it's Studio Trigger. If this is the art style, this looks pretty fun. The Dangers in My Heart season 2. I didn't initially get into this when it came out in the season, but then I kind of caught up on it. It was a very interesting style here. Comedy, romance, slice of life. The main character is a little bit more of would social outcast be the kind of way initially anyway, and has a lot of deep centered dark thoughts initially as well. Not much to say there. If you liked the first season, which I've heard a lot of people liked the first season, I'm sure you'll probably be checking out the second season. Shin A Animation though. I think that's the same studio too. I think I recall. A Sign of Affection, Aggiato Studio. I don't think I remember that one. Romance, Slice of Life, another romance. With these hands, I want to tell you that I love you. Yuki, a deaf college student, is struggling one day when an upperclassman from her school, Itsuyomi, helps her out. Itsuomi isn't put off at all by her lack of hearing and interacts with her naturally. Aw, that's nice. As he gradually opens up a new world to her, Yuki begins to develop feelings for Itsuomi. Thus begins the pure love story of Yuki, a deaf college girl, and Itsuomi, her upperclassman who travels the world with her. It kind of gives a vibe like a Silent Voice. I mean, it probably doesn't have that kind of level. Silent Voice had a lot more, I guess, darker themes. I don't think this is going to have those darker themes. I think it's just going to be straight up just, romance. So that seems cool. I'm not sure if I'll check this out yet, but I might. I might give it a go. Next, we have Banished from the Hero's Party. I decided to live a quiet life, season 2. I'm actually glad this is a season 2. I really enjoyed season 1. I don't know if the art style changed because I see the art here looks a little different. Action adventure, fantasy, romance, slice of life. I did enjoy the first season for what it was. Second season, a once great hero is now living the slow life. Red, shunned from his adventuring party, spends his days running an apothecary. He lives with his lifelong love, Princess Rit, and his sister Ruti. They indulge in moments of bliss like soaking in serene hot springs and enjoying delicious meals with a view. No matter what happens to the world around them, these happy moments will be unchanged. If you have enjoyed season 1, you're probably going to check out season 2. And I'm all for adventuring party, kind of anime fantasy. Hokkaido gals are super adorable. Oh, it's a combination of Blade and Silver Link. Those are some pretty good studios for this. Another romance. We have quite a bit of romance this season as well. And it has the whole snow aspect. That's perfect for winter 2024. Snowflakes aren't the only things dropping in Hokkaido. So are Jaws. Thanks to the super adorable gals who are turning to the icy north into a hotbed of fashion and fun. Brace yourself for a winter storm of laughs and love and killer outfits as these gals proved that being a cute is an all-season affair. Here, Frostbites means fashionista. I'm not sure on that one. The art style is kind of interesting. I don't know. I'd have to check it out. I've kind of seen something like this about this before. So for now, unsure. The Witch and the Beast. Oh, that's an interesting looking art style right there. Yokohama Animation Lab. Action adventure drama fantasy. Fantasy too, huh? It all started with the 17 origins, whose powers were passed down to individuals who still exist around the world today. A man carrying a coffin and a girl with the eyes of a beast appear in the town. The girl was once cursed by a witch and now searches for her in order to undo the curse. Is the witch who appears before them the quarry they've been searching for? The quarry. And how can the curse be undone? The quest for revenge against an evil witch begins rolling when the beast captures the witch. This magnificent and intense dark fantasy begins. Dark fantasy, you say? You had me at dark fantasy. I'll definitely at least want to check it out to see where this is going. It sounds cool, and especially when they say dark fantasy, because that's the kind of route I'm interested in it going. Metallic Rouge. Bone Studio. Hey, Bones. Welcome back, Bones. Action mecha sci-fi. Oh. I typically don't go the mecha route. There are some that I do want to check out again. Like I said, I haven't watched, like Witch of Mercury. Pretty good, I've heard. But let's see what this one's about. Metallic Rouge takes place in a world where humans and androids coexist. The story follows Rouge, an android girl. Oh. Who's on a mission on Mars with her partner Naomi. The mission is to murder 9 artificial humans who are hostile to the government. Okay. I mean, it doesn't give me too much information, but I'm interested to see where this goes. I typically don't, like I said, watch mecha anime, but I might have to check this one out to see where it's going and go from there. My instant death ability is overpowered. Is this an isekai? Says fantasy on it. We'll find out in a second. Action, adventure, comedy, fantasy. It definitely looks like it could be an isekai, considering the character is wearing what it looks like to be the school outfit. Yojiri Takato missed out on a few things while napping during a school trip. Mainly how his entire class got transported. Yep, there we go. Isekai. To another world, and how a curious sage gave everyone special powers. When Yogiri wakes up, he and his classmate Tomochika Danora must defend themselves against a dragon. That quick? We're fighting a dragon from episode 1? Out of options, Yogiri reluctantly agrees to team up with Tomochika and fend off danger with his instant death ability. He can keep his eyes open, that is. Well, I guess it makes sense to show off the instant death ability. Do it on a dragon, one of the more powerful foes in a fantasy world. Isekai, overpowered, MC. I kind of typically like to watch that kind of thing, and it could be fun. The wrong way to use healing magic. In a animation and studio ad. Heard the first one, don't know about the second one. Arcel is interesting. I keep saying that, but it's a little different. It's an action fantasy. An ordinary walk home from school turns into an epic journey for Isato. After suddenly being dropped into another world, we have another isekai here, with two fellow students. Usato learns he was summoned there by accident. Yeah, guess that can happen, right? But things turn around when he discovers a unique aptitude for healing magic. Now he trains beyond human limitations, using his self-healing abilities to gain absurd strength and unrivaled stamina. Absurd strength and unrivaled stamina, you say? Well, another kind of overpowered protagonist. I mean, doesn't hurt to check it out. Like I said, I'm an isekai fiend. I will watch isekais. I watched a ton in this last season. I'll watch more now. The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. Kind of saw this one briefly, and I'm interested, and that's, mainly because of some of the romance anime we've gotten recently. Children's Playground Entertainment Studio. That's quite the name. It's also supernatural. Matsutora Akutsu, a demon on a recruitment mission in a human high school, is drafting allies for hell against the heavenly angels. But when seated beside the captivating Lily Amane, he's in for a devilishly hilarious celestial surprise. Oh, that sounds like it could be a fun experience here. He's trying to draft for allies for hell, and then happens to sit next to an angel. That's probably also recruiting, is my guess. So they're going to end up falling for one another. That sounds like a fun time. I'm all for this. I'm all for checking this out to see where this goes. Tales of Wedding Rings. Staple Entertainment. Adventure comedy. Ecchi. Fantasy. Romance. You have all the tags. Sato and his best friend Hime have been together for as long as he can remember. So when she tells him she's going back to her home world to get married, his first thought is to follow her and crash her wedding. All goes according to plan, and with a kiss from Hime herself, Sato becomes the new groom. But unbeknownst to Sato, the man who marries Hime is destined to be a hero of immense power and save the world. Is Sato up for the challenge, or is this too much responsibility for one high schooler to handle? So essentially, the guy is forced to be a hero because he received a kiss and became the new groom. I'll have to check this out. There are a lot of romance. I'm not against it though. I've heard people say some pretty good things about this one too, so I'm willing to check this out. I keep saying that for every one of these, I know, but if it wasn't something I wanted to check out, I would probably say. But I am pretty casual when it comes to anime that I will watch a lot. Villainous level 99. Yay, another villainous. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. Jumondo Studios. Fantasy romance. This looks like it will probably be more, maybe a Yuri based, huh? Because I see a lot more females. And with the romance tag, that kind of lines up. This college kid wants nothing more than a quiet life. So when she's reborn as Yumilia, the hidden villainess of an otome RPG, is not exactly thrilled. Still yearning for peace, she abandons her evil duties to live a more discreet life. Until her gamer side kicks in, she accidentally reaches level 99. Now everyone suspects that she's the infamous Demon Lord. What future awaits her? Yeah, I don't see anything about that romance aspect. I guess we'll have to find out on that. I mean, there is a couple of guys, so it could still be going towards that direction. I'll know by probably after checking out the trailer. Dr. Elise, the Royal Lady with the Lamp. Maho Films. Comedy fantasy. And you guessed it, romance. Making up for her sins in a past life as the evil Princess Elise. Oh, another villainess. Aoi Takamoto dedicates her life to saving people as a doctor. But a fatal accident cuts her atonement short, and suddenly she back to her previous life, 10 years before her death. Will her foresight and medical brilliance help her change her past ways and heal an alien empire, or is fate doomed to repeat itself? That's just like the Tier Moon Kingdom one from this season, where she's trying to avoid the guillotine by changing things because she got put back into the past. So it's literally a similar vibe, and I enjoyed that one, so I'll probably check out this. It's kind of fun to see a character go back with the knowledge they had from the past and use it in the present to fix things and repair things, and then get some bullshittery in the same process because that's how Tier Moon Kingdom was. So yeah, I'll check that out. The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. This art kind of looks cool. The guy anyway. That's probably the Undead Adventurer right there. He looks really cool. He gives that like the Ansel Gone vibe. But I don't know if that's where it's gonna go. Connect Studios, that's a good one. Action adventure fantasy. Rent Faina or Faina or whatever, Faina, has hunted monsters for the last 10 years. 10 years, okay. Sadly, he's not that great at his job. Stuck hunting slimes and goblins for a few coins each day. His luck turns when he finds an undiscovered path. At the path's end, he meets his demise in the maw of a legendary dragon. But he wakes up as an undead bag of bones. He sets out to achieve existential evolution and rejoin the land of the living. Yeah, I mean, sounds cool. Though a lot of these sound cool. I guess you can only tell by watching an episode or two, or the 3-episode rule sometimes. And see where it exactly will be headed, because I'm not entirely sure where it's headed exactly. But it sounds like he wants to become alive again. So, that's pretty standard point, but it's just like how? How will you become alive again? That is the question. Oh boy. This art is something else. And I see the ecchi tag that lines up. And it's a Maho Shoujo. Gushing over magical girls. Yep. Comedy ecchi Maho Shoujo slice of life. Oh, this is gonna be a anime of culture, isn't it? I think that's where it is headed. Hiragi Utena is a major fangirl of the magical girls protecting her city. So when she has the chance to become one herself, she leaps at the chance to join their Technicolor ranks. But when she transforms, she learns she isn't fated to be a daring do-gooder, but rather a villain on the side of evil. At first, she tries to quit her new gig as the leader of the local baddies, but she quickly realizes she enjoys it and is a total natural at tormenting the magical girl she loves so much. With both a bang and a whimper, Hiragi's journey as a magical girl tormenting sadist has begun. I didn't expect that to end up being the plot line, but that does line up with the ecchi area. This will be an anime of culture, won't it? Not gonna lie, I'm a little interested to see how far this goes. You gotta see these anime of culture sometimes, right? High Card Season 2. Pretty low down here. I'm gonna watch it, because I did watch High Card Season 1. And I need to see where the plot's gonna go. That's my deal here. I need to see where it's gonna go. The opening was a lot of fun for this one. I hope we have another good opening. And of course, the idea of cards that do give special powers is not exactly anything uncommon, but depends on where we're headed with this. It looks like it's gonna be more of a war continuing on between these two factions. We'll go ahead and give that a go. If you watch season 1 again, then you're probably going to check out season 2. Baijaku Tamer wa Gomi Hiroi no Tabi wo Hajimemashita. Studio Masket. Venture Fantasy. Okay. This is another RPG style. I don't think it's an isekai though. Young Ivy can't catch a break. Though she has a few memories of her past life, I was wrong immediately. She was reborn into an RPG-like world in the weakest class, and worse, as the weakest rank. As a no-star tamer, even her parents want nothing to do with her. Wow. And parents are rough in these anime. As soon as she realized she must survive on her own, she learns to live off the land. and salvage what she can from other people's leavings. But when Ivy manages to tame Sora, a lowly slime, everything changes for the both of them. There's something special about this frail little monster, and Ivy's care will bring about the best in both of them. If there's one thing I've learned from watching isekai and especially anime with tamers and slimes, that slime is going to become the most powerful thing in this world. Yes, so this slime's going to be another big powerhouse. Again, check it out. Sounds like it'd be another fun one, another fun isekai to check out. The Seventh Time Loop, another villainess, I think it's the third one, enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. Hornets and Studio Kai. Fantasy romance. Oh, it's also romance too. Which I should have guessed from that. Married to her worst enemy. Riche, Irmgard Weitzner, Duke's daughter, has a secret. She died at the age of 20 and returned to the moment 5 years prior when her engagement was called off. He has already experienced this time loop 6 times and lived out those 5 years a different way each time. As a merchant, a doctor, a maid, a knight, and much more. Now on her 7th go around, she's determined to live to a ripe old age and spend it relaxing. But the moment she flees the castle with that decision in her heart, she runs into the infamously cruel crown prince of a rival kingdom, Arnold Hayne. Sounds like a cruel prince. He happens to be the one who killed her during her life as a knight, but now he seems to have taken a bizarre liking to her and begs her to become his wife. Thus, in order to stay alive and prevent a war, Riche utilizes her previous experiences to kick off her 7th life as the bride of the enemy nation's crown prince. This is the second one where they remember what happened and then come back and try to change things based off of that, which I'm all for. That's always a fun time to see what kind of changes they can make based on their experiences. So, well, give this a go. There's a lot I'm saying that too, and I probably won't be able to keep the promise to all of these, but I'm gonna try. Ishura. Ooh, we have a skeleton and a kid. Action drama fantasy. Ashion Studios. Ooh, that's a good one. In a world where the Demon King has died, a host of demigods capable of felling him have inherited the world. A master fencer who can figure out how to take out their opponent with a single glance. A lancer so swift they can break the sound barrier. A wyvern rogue who fights with 3 legendary weapons at once. Ooh. An all-powerful wizard who can speak thoughts into being. Oh. An angelic assassin who deals instant death. And these are all kind of cool. Eager to attain the title of one true hero, these champions each pursue challenges against formidable foes and spark conflicts amongst themselves. The battle to determine the mightiest of the mighty begins. Kinda has that, I don't know if it's gonna go that route, but it kinda sounds like that kind of like fate aspect, where the masters are all taking on each other, except this case is just the different types trying to beat each other in combat. That's what it kind of sounds like. And then there's also, a list of obviously the different types of people to expect. I don't know, it could be or may not be. I'll have to probably look at the trailer a little bit more to see if that's what it is. Uchigiri. Mappa Studios. I wonder how well that's going to go. Oh, Mappa. Action Supernatural. The story of Buchigiri follows Aladdin Tomobishi, a young man who becomes embroiled in a battle to see who is strongest after he reunites with his former best friend, Matakata Asamine. Meanwhile, the shadow of a giant genie looms over them. I'll have to take a look at the trailer to kind of give me a little bit more of an idea. So we'll see how that goes. Sengoku Yoko, White Fox Studios. The world is divided into 2 factions, humans and monsters, called Katawara. Despite being a Katawara, Tama loves humans and vows to protect them from evil, even if it means fighting her own kind. Her brother Jinka, however, hates humans, despite mostly being one. The siblings are joined by a cowardly swordsman named Shinsuke, who wants to learn how to become strong. When the group uncovers a plot to experiment on humans and transform them into monsters, they vow to defeat whoever is behind it, even if it means battling an entire army of warriors. I'm Not sure from the surface of this. Another action adventure fantasy. Could be. I'll have to check out the trailer to see where this will go. I think this is the isn't this the Time for Torture Princess one? Hime Sama Goman no Jinken Desu, Pine Jam Studios. The princess who has been captive by the Demon Lord's army is scheduled to be executed by the Demon Lord's relentless torture. You mean like putting a bowl of ramen in front of her and not eating it? Like not letting her eat it or something? That what it is? Or it could be misleading. It could just be a misleading title based off of that. Who knows? Odds are I'll have to see where this goes. That's kind of the case for a lot of these when they don't have like an easy synopsis to go off of. Fluffy Paradise. EMT squared. Venture fantasy slice of life. Dead of overwork at the age of 27, Midori barely had time to lament having to die that way when a god appeared before her and said, "You will reincarnate in another world and tell me whether you think humans deserve to continue existing there. In return, I will grant you a special power." I didn't even realize this was an isekai. Then Midori, hoping to relieve the exhaustion of harsh life she lived, found herself asking to cuddle cute fluffy animals. Is that the power she wanted? Thus, Midori reincarnated in her new world as a young girl named Nefertima, with a power that causes her to be loved by all living things other than humans. That includes not only animals, but holy beasts like white tigers and dragons, and even monsters like goblins and frozen spiders. I have a fear of goblins in this context because of Goblin Slayer, but you know. There was also a cruel fate awaiting her. Nefertima is determined to do her best to coexist with humans and all living creatures in her new life of petting and patting cute animals. That's a good question whether to check this one out or not. Very good question. We'll find out because I don't know where this will go. It could be good. I enjoyed that potion one that I didn't think I was going to enjoy this season. So who knows? I might be able to enjoy this one, but I'm going to put this on the back burner. I feel like this is more of a back burner one for me, where if I feel like I have time to watch it, I will. If not, it will probably be a skip for now. Han no Michi, OLM Studios, Slice of Life. The anime is set in Hiroshima Prefecture's Onomichi City, where a high school student, Nashiko Jipensha, was kicked out of her house. Without a place to play with her friends, she learns that the mahjong parlor that her father used to run is now vacant. She fixes the mahjong parlor and turns it into a place where she and her friends can have fun, cook, have tea, and sometimes play mahjong. Okay. You know, I just noticed the mahjong piece in the picture. So this will probably have a bit more center on mahjong. Or it might not be, and it will just be partially centered on mahjong. But it seems like a very chill show. So if anybody's looking for like a chill show of girls is doing things and playing mahjong, well, this could be one to check out. I will again probably put this one on the back burner and we'll see what happens. And usually when I put things on the back burner, I end up checking it out anyway. That's just how I am, I guess. The Demon Prince of Momochi House Studio Drive. Another romance and supernatural. On her 16th birthday, orphan Himari Momochi inherits her ancestral estate that she's never seen. Momochi House exists on the barrier between the human and spiritual realms, and Himari is meant to act as a guardian between the two worlds. On the day she moves in, she finds 3 handsome squatters already living in the house, and one seems to have already taken over her role. I have no idea where this is headed. But why do I feel like it is headed down like a reverse harem route? Because, yeah, it's a girl MC. And it has a romance tag. And there's a bunch of guys in the picture. It might be that kind of route. We shall see. I also like to look at the VAs for things like this too before I make decisions as well. Sasaki and Peeps. Silver Link. Ooh. Comedy, fantasy, and Maha Shoujo. We have another magical girl here. Sasaki is a middle-aged office worker living in Japan, feeling drained by the vapid corporate world. He heads to the pet shop in search of a new companion. There he finds an adorable bird named Peeps and takes him home. But Sasaki quickly learns that Peeps isn't your average bird. Oh, he's a powerful mage from another world. Together they embark on a magical adventure filled with swords and sorcery. First episode aired with a runtime of 60 minutes. I have no idea where this is going, but that sounds fun. Because I'd be the kind of person that would like to go into a world like that, just with some kind of powerful mage. I'll have to check this out. I honestly will. I think this is enticing enough to me to check out. Aikyo, Tank no Miyaku. I'm not gonna even try. This seems like the one where he's another defense tank or something like that. Studio Polon. Rudd is a tank of the hero's party and said to have highest defense ever in history. Okay, yeah, this is the highest defense one. The party often does labyrinth raids, but to Rudd it means more than just a raid. To cure his beloved sister's illness, he's in search for the wish-granting treasure that might be hidden in those labyrinths. But one day, the arrogant hero kicks him from the party. Oh, that same old story, right? Getting kicked from the hero's party after an unsuccessful raid attempt, blaming it on his skills, whose effect is he is still unaware of. Okay, so he has better skills than what he's aware of. Without nowhere else to go and nothing to do, he decides to return to his hometown, where his sister is waiting. On his way there, he saves a girl who's being attacked by a monster. Unexpectedly, this girl has an extremely rare skill called Appraisal. Thanks to her skill, Rudd is able to discover the truth behind his unknown skills, which turn out to be very powerful skills. With a defense of 9999 and powerful skills, thus begins the adventure of the strongest tank, Rudd. Yeah, I mean, seems kind of like another overpowered isekai style. Not actually, this is not an isekai. Take that back. This is just a fantasy. Overpowered protagonist. Just a regular fantasy. I typically like. You can never have too many of these. So I'd probably want to give it a go. Alright, and I think with that, we've kind of checked out a majority of these. Obviously, we still have our leftovers from this last season, like Frieden, those kind of ones. We have some that are left over, and they're going to continue to move forward. So those are the kind of ones I'm interested in, and whatever I missed, of course, you can let me know if you're going to check them out or not in the comment section below, and whatever you're planning to watch as well out of the mix. So with that, thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you on the next video.